There is something unusual about anime that most people notice but rarely question. Look closely at your favorite characters, the legendary heroes, the unforgettable rivals, and the characters that stayed with you long after the story ended. Their heads appear larger, their faces seem rounder, their shoulders feel broader, and somehow they occupy more visual space than real people. Once you notice it, it becomes impossible to ignore. So why does anime do this? Why do anime characters look wider than reality itself? The answer lies far deeper than simple artistic preference. It is hidden within psychology, visual storytelling, cinematography, and decades of animation history. Because anime was never created to perfectly imitate reality. It was created to amplify it. To understand this phenomenon, we must travel back to the early days of animation. Unlike live-action films, animated characters do not possess real facial muscles, subtle eye movements, or the tiny imperfections that make human beings feel alive. Animators faced an enormous challenge. How could they make audiences instantly care about characters that existed only as drawings? Their solution was both simple and revolutionary. They learned that the human brain recognizes shapes before it recognizes details. Long before we notice colors or facial features, our minds identify silhouettes. This meant that characters needed stronger and more memorable shapes. Wider hairstyles, larger heads, broader clothing, and simplified proportions made characters instantly recognizable, even in a single frame or during rapid movement. A realistic human figure could easily blend into the background. But a character with exaggerated proportions immediately stood out. And in animation, where viewers often have only a fraction of a second to process visual information, instant recognition became essential. However, recognition is only part of the story. Anime also discovered something far more powerful. People do not emotionally connect with realism. They connect with feelings. And feelings need space to be expressed. A wider face creates room for larger expressions. Bigger eyes make happiness appear brighter, sadness more heartbreaking, anger more intense, and determination more inspiring. Anime does not simply present emotions, it magnifies them. This is one of the reasons why anime scenes can feel surprisingly emotional. A character's smile can instantly make us happy, while a fictional death can leave millions of viewers heartbroken for years. Anime transforms emotions into visual experiences, turning invisible feelings into something audiences can see and understand immediately. Wider character designs make those emotions easier to communicate, allowing viewers to connect more deeply with the characters on screen. Cinematography also plays a significant role in this design philosophy. Anime frequently uses dramatic camera angles, including extreme close-ups, heroic low-angle shots, and dynamic perspectives during action scenes. Under these conditions, realistic human proportions often appear weak or visually unbalanced. Broader character designs solve this problem by maintaining visual strength from every angle. Wider silhouettes create a greater sense of presence and power. This is one reason why many anime protagonists appear larger than life even when they are teenagers. Their designs are carefully optimized for movement and impact. When they stand against impossible odds, leap into battle, or deliver an inspiring speech, their broader proportions help create memorable and powerful images. In visual storytelling, presence is everything, and anime understands how to create that presence through shape. The explanation becomes even more fascinating. When we look at human psychology, throughout history, humans have instinctively associated larger forms with importance. Large animals represented danger, broad figures symbolized strength, and bigger shapes naturally demanded attention. These ancient survival instincts still influence us today. Our brains are naturally drawn toward things that appear larger and more dominant. Anime creators use this understanding constantly. Heroes often become visually larger during their defining moments. Villains are designed with intimidating proportions, and wise mentors frequently possess broad, stable shapes that communicate security and authority. Even cute characters benefit from wider designs. Rounded faces and larger heads trigger feelings of safety, innocence, and affection. This principle is known as shape language, and it forms one of the most important foundations of character design. Circular shapes feel friendly and comforting. Square shapes communicate strength and reliability, while sharp triangular forms create feelings of danger and unpredictability. Before a character even speaks, their shape already tells the audience how they should feel about them. This is why many iconic anime characters remain instantly recognizable even when all details are removed. If you were to erase their colors, facial features, and textures, many viewers could still identify them simply from their silhouettes. Great character design is built upon memorable proportions and strong visual identity. A unique hairstyle, distinctive clothing, and broader overall shapes become part of a character's iconography. The human brain loves simplicity, and simple, memorable forms remain with us for years. This principle extends far beyond anime and can also be found in logos, branding, and filmmaking. The most unforgettable designs in history are often remarkably simple because simplicity allows the brain to process and remember information. more easily. History also contributed to this artistic evolution. Many of anime's visual traditions developed during an era when television screens were small and image quality was limited. Fine details could easily disappear, making expressions and action scenes difficult to understand. To solve this problem, animators exaggerated character proportions. Larger eyes, stronger outlines, and broader silhouettes ensured that emotions remained clear even on older screens. Over time, these practical decisions evolved into artistic traditions. Even though modern technology no longer requires such exaggeration, audiences have become emotionally attached to these visual conventions. Today, when we see these proportions, our brains immediately recognize them as anime. They feel familiar, comforting, and timeless. Perhaps one of the most surprising aspects of anime is that its characters are often less anatomically realistic than real human beings, yet millions of people still perceive them as beautiful. This reveals an important truth about beauty itself. Beauty is not entirely based on realism. It is often based on idealization. Anime simplifies human features, removes imperfections, and emphasizes the characteristics that people naturally find appealing. Large expressive eyes, smooth facial structures, balanced proportions, and clear emotions create an idealized version of humanity. These characters are not realistic people but emotional representations of human desires and aspirations. They represent a perfected reality that never truly existed, yet somehow feels emotionally satisfying. Animation itself provides another practical explanation. Every frame of animation requires time, effort, and resources. Characters with broader, simplified designs are easier to animate consistently. Wider silhouettes remain clear during rapid movement, making action scenes easier to understand. During intense battles, audiences must instantly identify who is moving, who is attacking, and where their attention should be focused. Broader designs improve visual readability and prevent confusion. This is one of the hidden reasons why anime action sequences often feel so satisfying and dynamic. Every line and every shape is carefully designed to communicate information as efficiently as possible. But above all, anime characters look wider because anime itself has never been concerned with reproducing reality exactly as it exists. Instead, it seeks to capture what reality feels like. Human emotions are rarely small or realistic. Love feels enormous. Fear feels overwhelming. Dreams seem limitless, and grief can feel unbearable. Anime transforms these invisible emotions into visible experiences. A smile becomes brighter, determination becomes stronger, and moments of hope become legendary. Everything is amplified. Everything becomes larger than life. Wider character designs are simply one part of this visual language. Anime does not merely draw people. It draws emotions, dreams, fears, memories, ambitions, loneliness, and hope. And emotions themselves have never fit neatly inside realistic proportions. Perhaps this is why anime continues to captivate millions of people around the world. It exists somewhere between reality and imagination, human enough to be relatable, yet exaggerated enough to inspire us. So the next time you watch your favorite anime, pay close attention to the shapes and proportions of its characters. Notice their silhouettes, hairstyles, shoulders, and expressions. Hidden within those designs are decades of artistic evolution, psychological understanding, and visual storytelling. Anime characters do not look wider by accident. They look wider because they are designed to be remembered, designed to communicate emotions more clearly, and designed to make us feel something deeper than realism ever could. Because sometimes, to make a story feel more human, artists must first make it larger than life. And perhaps that is the true magic of anime. It does not show the world as it is. It shows the world as it feels. And feelings have always been bigger than reality itself.